Your transparency is a biological defect. Every time you speak your plans, you hand your enemies the exact blueprint they need to dismantle your future before it even begins. You have been conditioned to believe that your truth matters. From the moment you entered the education system, you were fed a steady diet of slave morality. The idea that honesty is courage, that transparency is a virtue, and that being yourself is the highest form of existence. This is a lie manufactured by the powerful to keep the masses docile, predictable, and easily managed. In the brutal hierarchy of the real world, authenticity is not a strategy. It is a suicide note. Understand the mechanics of your own subjugation. When you walk into a negotiation, a relationship, or a conflict and immediately reveal your intentions, you are not being brave. You are handing over your leverage. You are signaling submission. You are telling the world exactly what you want, which tells the world exactly what it can withhold from you to control you. Consider the geometry of power. Power is a finite resource. It is a zero-sum game. If you gain status, someone else loses it. If you secure the resource, someone else starves. In this hostile environment, information is ammunition. When you broadcast your goals, you are effectively giving your enemies the coordinates to your position. You are standing in the middle of a dark forest, holding a flare, screaming, "Here I am, come and get me." Why do you do this? Why is the compulsion to share so overwhelming? It is because you are weak. The urge to reveal your plans is a biological glitch, a desperate, infantile cry for validation. You speak because you cannot bear the crushing weight of your own ambition. It is heavy to carry a secret. It creates psychological pressure. The weak man feels this pressure and immediately seeks to release it. He tells his friends, his colleagues, his family about his big vision. He thinks he is building a support network. He thinks he is manifesting his future. He is doing neither. He is bleeding out. When you speak your goals into existence before they are achieved, you trigger a premature release of dopamine in your brain. You get the chemical reward of the victory without having done the work. You feel satisfied. You feel recognized. And because you feel satisfied, your biological drive to actually execute the mission evaporates. You talked your energy away. You traded the reality of power for the illusion of status. Furthermore, you have now alerted the crabs in the bucket. The moment you articulate an ambition that exceeds the mediocre standards of your peer group, you trigger their survival instinct. They do not want you to succeed. Your success is a mirror that reflects their own failure. It threatens their ego. By revealing your hand, you give them the time and the motive to prepare their sabotage. They will not attack you openly. That would be too risky. They will plant seeds of doubt. They will withhold critical information. They will subtly undermine your confidence with passive-aggressive comments disguised as concern. They will wait for you to stumble, and then they will ensure you do not get up. You handed them the knife. You pointed to the soft spot between your ribs. And then you have the audacity to act surprised when they stab you. The modern world encourages you to be an open book. Social media demands that you document every thought, every meal, every move. This is a trap. The man who is an open book is a man who can be read, and a man who can be read can be rewritten. If I know what drives you, I can manipulate you. If I know what you fear, I can terrorize you. If I know what you love, I can hold it hostage. Stop seeking to be known. Being known is a liability. You must learn to exist in a state of strategic opacity. Your truth is for you alone. The world only deserves to see your results. Let them see the empire after it is built. Let them see the check after it is cleared. Let them see the body after it is buried. Until then, you are a void. You are a black hole. You absorb everything and emit nothing. This is the only way to survive in a world of predators. The human animal is terrified of the unknown. We are hardwired by millions of years of evolution to fear the dark, the silence, and the ambiguous. When our ancestors looked into the brush and saw nothing, they did not assume safety. They assumed a predator. The unknown is the canvas upon which we project our deepest nightmares. You can weaponize this terror. Most men are uncomfortable with silence. Watch them in a social setting. When the conversation dies, when the air goes still, they panic. Their cortisol spikes. They feel the walls closing in. Their instinct is to chatter, to fill the void with noise, explanations, nervous laughter, and useless trivia. They do this because silence forces them to confront the ambiguity of their standing. They need feedback. They need to know where they stand. You must become the void. When you hide your intentions, when you refuse to signal your emotional state, you create a psychological vacuum around you. You become a blank screen. And because human beings are fundamentally narcissistic and insecure, they will project their own greatest fears onto that screen. If you are silent, your rival does not think he has nothing to say. He thinks he knows something I don't. He thinks he is plotting. He thinks he sees a flaw in my plan that I missed. He thinks he is judging me. You haven't done a single thing. You haven't made a threat. You haven't raised your voice. You haven't drawn a weapon. You have simply refused to provide the comfort of clarity. By withholding information, you force others to bid against themselves. They will over-explain. They will offer better terms. They will reveal their own cards. They will dance for you, all in a desperate attempt to get a read on you. This is how you seize control without expending a single calorie of energy. Let them exhaust themselves trying to solve the riddle of your behavior. Consider the dynamic of a terrifying boss or a powerful father figure. The most dangerous ones are rarely the screamers. The man who screams is showing his weakness. He is showing that he has lost control of his emotions and the situation. The truly terrifying figure is the one who sits back, stares, and says nothing. You present your work, and he just looks at it. He looks at you. He offers no feedback. In that silence, you crumble. You start pointing out your own mistakes. I know the third paragraph is a bit weak. I can fix that. I know the numbers aren't final. You are negotiating against yourself. You are doing his work for him. That ambiguity keeps you on your toes. It keeps you compliant. It keeps you afraid. Machiavelli warns that men are quick to change their nature. If they know what you rely on, they will take it away. If they know what you love, they will destroy it. But if they don't know what matters to you, they are powerless. They are swinging at smoke. They cannot target what they cannot see. You must learn to tolerate the tension of silence. It is a physical sensation, a tightness in the chest, a dryness in the throat. Most men run from it. You must lean into it. When someone asks you a prying question, do not feel compelled to answer. Look at them. Hold eye contact for 3 seconds too long. Smile a cold, detached smile. Change the subject, or simply say nothing at all. Watch them squirm. Watch them try to fill the gap. In that moment, the power dynamic shifts irrevocably. You are the immovable object. They are the water that must flow around you. Your silence is not empty. It is heavy. It is a kinetic force. It is a weight that you place on the room. Learn to let it crush them. The less you say, the more your words will matter when you finally choose to speak. You create scarcity. And in economics and power alike, scarcity creates value. By becoming unreadable, you become invincible. You are no longer a participant in the game. You are the game master. You set the rules because you are the only one who knows what they are. Chapter 3. The Architecture of Submission. To master the art of concealment, you must surgically remove the parts of your ego that demand attention. This is not about habit. This is about pathology. We must dissect the loose tongue and understand the specific weaknesses that cause a man to betray himself. There are 3 specific archetypes of men who destroy their own sovereignty through speech. You likely embody at least one of them. You must identify it, confront it, and kill it. The first archetype is the validation seeker. This man speaks to get permission. He tells people his plans because he is secretly hoping they will say, "That's a great idea. You can do it." He is outsourcing his belief in himself. He cannot move forward until he has the stamp of approval from the herd. This is pathetic. It is the behavior of a slave. If you need a committee to approve your ambition, you are not a leader. You are a subordinate. True power requires the arrogance to believe you are right when everyone else thinks you are insane. When you seek validation, you are placing your self-worth in the hands of people who have achieved less than you aim to. You are asking sheep for advice on how to be a wolf. The validation seeker is easily manipulated. All an enemy has to do is withhold praise, and this man will crumble. Or they can offer false praise to lead him off a cliff. He dances for scraps of approval. The second archetype is the complainer. This man speaks to get pity. He broadcasts his struggles, his unfair boss, his bad luck, his difficult childhood, his trauma. He thinks this builds rapport. He thinks showing vulnerability makes him relatable and human. In the dark world of strategy, vulnerability is blood in the water. When you complain, you are signaling 2 critical pieces of intelligence to your enemies. First, you are signaling that you are not in control of your environment. You are a victim of circumstance, not a master of fate. Second, you are showing them exactly where your armor is thin. You are showing them what hurts you. A ruthless enemy files away every complaint you make. You hate public speaking? Good. He will maneuver to force you to present in front of the board. You are having trouble with your wife? Good. He will keep you late at the office to exacerbate the tension. You have financial stress? Good. He will delay your bonus. Never show your wounds to a shark. The complainer thinks he is venting. In reality, he is arming his executioner. The third archetype is the braggart. This man speaks to get envy. He is the most dangerous to himself. He cannot wait to tell you about the deal he is about to close, the money he is going to make, the woman he is going to sleep with. He craves the status of the victory before the war is won. He is addicted to the high of being admired. The braggart triggers the evil eye. Envy is the most potent, destructive, and silent emotion in the human arsenal. People hate those who rise too fast. They despise those who make them feel inferior. When you brag, you are not impressing people. You are humiliating them. You are reminding them of their own stagnation. You are practically begging them to trip you. Machiavelli observes that men are driven by 2 principal impulses: fear and hatred. Bragging generates hatred. Weakness generates contempt. The braggart manages to generate both: hatred for his arrogance and contempt for his inevitable fall. The braggart is also a fool because he alerts his competition. If you tell me you are going to corner the market, I will wake up earlier, work harder, and cut your throat before you get there. You gave me the warning I needed to defeat you. Analyze yourself with ruthless honesty. Which of these parasites is living in your throat? Do you brag to feel big? Do you complain to feel held? Do you explain to feel safe? You must become a fortress. A fortress does not explain why its walls are high. It does not apologize for its defenses. It does not ask the invading army if they think the architecture is nice. It simply exists. It is impenetrable. Stop speaking to manage your anxiety. Stop speaking to feed your ego. Every word that leaves your mouth should have a tactical purpose. If it does not advance your position, it is a leak. Seal it. Silence is the only container that can hold power without spilling it. Let us strip away the polite fiction of civilization. Let us remove the veneer of laws, HR departments, and social niceties. Underneath it all, you are an animal living in a resource-scarce environment, surrounded by other animals who want what you have. The rules of the boardroom are the rules of the jungle, merely dressed in suits. In nature, there is no such thing as a loud predator. The apex predators, the ones who survive, dominate, and propagate, are masters of stealth. The tiger does not roar before it leaps. It stalks. It uses the tall grass to break up its outline. It moves downwind, so its scent does not betray it. It freezes for hours, waiting for the perfect moment of vulnerability. It strikes only when the probability of success is near 100%. The roar comes after the kill, or to claim territory, never to announce the attack. The prey animals are the ones who make noise. The monkeys screech to warn the troop. The birds call out in alarm. The cattle moo as they move. Noise is a defensive mechanism for the weak. It is a plea for help. Silence is the offensive posture of the strong. If you look at military history, the principle holds with absolute consistency. Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based on deception." The greatest generals, Hannibal, Napoleon, Genghis Khan, never fought a fair fight. They never did what the enemy expected. They masked their troop movements. They feigned retreat to draw the enemy out of position. They attacked at night, in the fog, from the flank. If your enemy knows your intentions, he can prepare a perfect defense. If he knows you are attacking the castle gate, he will reinforce the gate and boil the oil. But if he doesn't know where you are, he has to defend the entire perimeter. He has to spread his forces thin. He becomes paralyzed by the possibilities. He burns out his men watching the horizon for a ghost. By hiding your intentions, you force your enemy to waste resources guarding against phantoms. You must apply this to your daily life. If you are looking for a new job, do not update your LinkedIn profile to "open to work." Do not tell your coworkers you are unhappy. Move in the shadows. Interview on your lunch break. Secure the offer, negotiate the salary, sign the contract, and then drop your resignation letter on your boss's desk. If you telegraph your move too early, you give your current employer the chance to fire you first, or badmouth you to the industry, or guilt you into staying. If you are negotiating a deal, do not show your excitement. Do not show your deadline. If the other side knows you must close by Friday, they will wait until 4 p.m. on Friday to squeeze you for concessions. They will use your timeline as a weapon against you. But if you act as if you have all the time in the world, if you act as if you don't even want the deal, you control the price. Be the submarine. Run silent. Run deep. The ocean is full of noise, but the true threats are the ones underneath the surface. The only time you should appear on their radar is when the torpedo has already made impact. By then, the damage is done. By then, you have already won. Visibility is death. Camouflage is life. This is not a philosophy. This is biology. Adapt or die. Silence is the first step, but it is passive. To truly dominate, to truly become a Machiavellian operator, you must move from concealment to active deception. You must learn to construct a fog of war. It is not enough to simply hide what you are doing. Sometimes, you must plant false evidence to lead people down the wrong path. This is the art of the decoy. If you want to seize power, you must sometimes feign disinterest. If you want to be smart, you must sometimes play the fool. Machiavelli advised the prince to be a great simulator and dissimulator. There is a profound utility in playing dumb. When people think you are naive, they lower their guard. They speak freely around you. They assume you are not a threat. They reveal their secrets because they do not view you as a competitor. They view you as a pawn. Let them believe it. Feed their ego. Ask them for advice. Nod as they explain simple concepts to you. While they are busy preening and feeling superior, you are gathering intelligence. You are mapping their network. You are learning their weaknesses. You are preparing your move. The man who thinks he is smarter than you will become sloppy. He will hand you the knife because he thinks you don't know how to hold it. If you are building a competitive product, do not just stay quiet. Publicly praise a different technology. Distract the market. Make them look left while you move right. If you are planning a hostile takeover, be the most charming, supportive ally in the meetings. Caress or annihilate, Machiavelli said. If you cannot annihilate them yet, you must caress them. Lull them into a false sense of security. This is not lying in the moral sense. This is counterintelligence. You are managing the perception of your reality. You are curating the dataset that others use to make decisions about you. If they make the wrong decision because you fed them the wrong data, that is their failure, not yours. Create a public persona, a decoy version of yourself that is safe, predictable, and slightly boring. Give this version to your boss, your acquaintances, and the public. Let them think they have you figured out. Oh, him? He's a steady worker, not very ambitious, happy where he is. Perfect. That is the perfect cover. That is the camouflage of the harmless herbivore. Beneath that bland exterior, the real you is working with ruthless intensity. You are building networks, acquiring skills, and accumulating resources. You are tunneling beneath their foundations, planting the explosives while they are busy critiquing your paint job. Control the information flow. Release information only when it serves a tactical purpose. Every piece of data about your life is a chess piece. Do not move a piece unless it improves your position. By the time you drop the mask, it should be too late for them to react. They will say, "I never saw it coming." They will feel betrayed. They will say, "You changed." You didn't change. You just finally stopped acting. You maintained the fog until the precise moment of victory. This is the phase of identity death. To truly master the concealment of intentions, you must kill the part of you that craves identity. You must transcend the need for the self. We live in the age of the main character. Everyone wants to be the star of the movie. They want the camera on them. They want the credit. They want the fame. They want to be someone. You must choose. Do you want to be the celebrity, or do you want to be the owner? The celebrity is visible. He is scrutinized. If he makes a mistake, the world watches. He is a slave to his audience. He has no privacy, and therefore no true freedom. He is a high-paid court jester, dancing for the amusement of the mob. The owner is invisible. He stands behind the curtain. He pulls the strings. He makes the real money. He wields the real power. Nobody knows his name, so nobody can cancel him. Nobody can target him. He moves through the world like a ghost, affecting outcomes without being attached to them. You must learn to embrace the power of being a non-entity. You must learn to love being underestimated. When someone dismisses you, do not get angry. Do not puff up your chest and say, "Do you know who I am?" That is weak. That is your ego begging for a cookie. Instead, smile internally. Think, "Good. You have just categorized me as harmless. You have just taken your eyes off me. You have just exposed your back." This requires a massive suppression of the ego. It hurts to be ignored. It hurts to be treated like you don't matter. But you must reframe this pain. The pain is weakness leaving the body. The anonymity is your cloak of invisibility. It is a superpower. Become a ghost. A ghost can walk through walls. A ghost can enter locked rooms. A ghost cannot be pinned down or captured. Move through the world without leaving a wake. Do your work in the dark. Let your results be the only noise you make. And even then, let others take the credit if it serves your purpose. If you let a superior take credit for your idea, he becomes dependent on you. You own him. He thinks he is the master, but he is the puppet. And you are the hand inside. Control is not about being at the front of the parade, waving to the crowd. Control is about deciding where the parade goes, how fast it moves, and who is allowed to march. Detach from the need to be the protagonist. You do not need to be the hero of the story that everyone cheers for. You need to be the director. The director stands behind the camera. He is not seen. He gets no applause during the scene, but he decides who speaks, who moves, who lives, and who dies. Fade into the background. Become part of the furniture. And from that position of invisibility, start moving the pieces. We end with a warning. This is where 99% of men fail. This is the filter that separates the elite from the amateurs. You have stayed silent. You have worked in the dark. You have misled your enemies. You have swallowed your ego. You are inches away from the final victory. The check is about to clear. The promotion is about to be announced. The rival is about to collapse. And in that moment, you feel an overwhelming, intoxicating urge to gloat. You want to take the victory lap. You want to finally reveal your genius. You want to see the look on their faces when they realize you beat them. You want to say, "I told you so." You want to explain how you did it, step by step, so they can admire your brilliance. Do not do it. This is the Bond villain error. It is the moment the villain captures the hero and explains his entire evil plot. And that is the moment the hero escapes and kills him. Hubris is the death of power. The moment you think you have won is the moment you are most vulnerable. You relax, you stop scanning for threats, you lower your shield to take a bow. And that is when the knife goes in. Even when you win, you must hide your intentions. If you succeed, do not call it a master plan. Do not frame yourself as a strategic genius. Call it luck. Call it a team effort. Shrug your shoulders. Act humble. Act surprised. Why? Because if you claim you are a genius mastermind, you put a target on your back for the next war. You wake up the sleeping giants. You make people fear you, and people destroy what they fear. You create a coalition of enemies who will band together to ensure you never win again. But if you frame your success as luck or circumstance, they will underestimate you again. They will say, "He just fell into it. He was in the right place at the right time." And then you can rob them blind a second time, and a third time. The game never ends. There is no finish line where you can finally take off the mask and relax. The higher you climb, the colder the wind, and the more vital your cloak becomes. Secrecy is not a tactic you use once. It is a lifestyle. It is a permanent state of being. You must marry the silence. Go now. Lock your tongue behind your teeth. Burn your diary. Delete your drafts. Look at the world with cold, dead eyes that reveal nothing but your reflection. Let them guess. Let them fear. Let them lose.